The Most Unforgivable Person, Story 1.
An elderly white woman confessed to horrific acts against a black family. I was a nurse at a hospital in the early 2010s. I have encountered all kinds of patients, from the nicest to the rudest, from those who could afford to stay in the hospital for just a minor ailment to those staying long-term, waiting for death to claim them. One particular elderly lady was one of the nicest patients I met. Let's call her Mary. She knew her nurses by name, even memorized our shifts, always asking how we were. Given her fragile state, she was in and out of the hospital. She would always say she would be back soon when she got discharged. Her health, as expected, deteriorated. We all knew it was a matter of time, even her. She checked in one last time to the hospital, knowing full well that she wasn't going to check out walking. Her son visited her every morning. She acted bravely, still being her usual charming self. But at night, she was a mess. She knew her time was coming and she was afraid of the people in her room. It was a private room. She did not have anyone with her. As nights weren't so busy, I got to spend some time with her. It was evident that she did not want to be left alone. She said the people were waiting for her to sleep. As a nurse, I have encountered patients whose time was running out. Some of them said their loved ones were in the room waiting for them. Whatever they believed, I was okay with it as it was their own. It made them feel comforted. But Mary, she was afraid of the people she saw in her room. To take her mind off it, I asked about her family. I knew her son because he accompanied her. But I found out she also had a daughter who went no contact with her. She wouldn't even visit. I asked if she missed her, she said of course, but her husband took her away from her. I chalked it up to family drama, but then Mary kept going. I learned that her daughter cut contact with her. Why? Not her exact words, but I deduced from how she described her daughter's husband, passively racist, that Mary wasn't exactly kind to others darker than her very fair skin color. So Mary wasn't the kind mother I first believed she was. Again, family drama, I told myself. I hoped her daughter would see her mother for the last time, but according to Mary, her son already tried and failed several times to convince her. Mary blamed her son-in-law for driving a wedge between her and her daughter. Throughout the week, I learned more things about her, like how her husband died, heart attack, why her son divorced his first wife, the wife left his sweet boy because she lacked as a woman, i.e. he cheated, and how she had basically ruined a whole family because the daughter dared to wear better clothes than her. The last one she admitted while being extremely frightened, often looking at the far side of the room, as if addressing whoever ghostly presence she saw there. When she was in her teens, Mary saw a black girl around her age wearing a much nicer dress. She knew for a fact that people of her color had limited shops they were allowed to buy, so it must have been made by the girl's mother. However, according to Mary, that only made it more suspicious because where did they get such good fabric for the dress? They probably stole it somewhere. And the black girl had no business having such a beautiful dress, she said. She followed the girl and when they were alone, she asked about the dress. The girl answered that a cousin from another state sent her it. Mary, she said, was so envious. She had never been to that state. She had never been outside her town. She told the girl to give her the dress, which of course the girl refused. Mary said she only wanted the dress. If she couldn't have it, the girl shouldn't as well. She tried to rip the sleeves off or any part of the dress she could grab onto. But the girl's brother came running towards them. She got scared. The brother was massive. He grabbed his sister and they ran away from her. Mary was now not only scared, she was also humiliated. They just ran away from her like she was the dirty one, her words. When she got home, she told her father the black boy made a pass at her. You probably guessed what happened next. This was the 50s in the South. That boy never stood a chance. Mary's father gathered his neighbors and dragged the poor young man from his home while his family cried and tried to defend him. The boy's father was also dragged away. His father didn't survive. The boy did, but the attack left him with serious injuries. She doubted the boy survived long after that. The whole family left the home soon. She never heard from them again. The way she described the dress with such clarity and how it should have been hers was enough for me to know she didn't regret what she did. She was just afraid of finally meeting the people she wronged again. The people she kept seeing in her room were the boy and the girl. She said they were always staring at her with such hatred in their eyes, waiting for her to pass. She wasn't sorry, she was afraid. She justified her actions saying she was scared of the black boy. Even in her final hours, she was thinking about herself, of how it was unfair that the other girl got the better dress. She said she was sorry the father got killed, but she said she didn't know her father and neighbors would get that far. She thought they would only scare them away. I could barely hold my tears back. She was telling the shadows she was sorry they got killed, not that she got them killed. Even in her final hours, she couldn't comprehend how it was all her fault. She asked me to tell the shadows to leave because her husband would be waiting for her in heaven. I told her she wasn't going to heaven. The shadows were waiting for her so they could accompany her to hell before they get their own peace. She would suffer for eternity in hell for what she did. There would be no rest for her. And that was the truth. I spoke with such authority, knowing full well that that message would be the last she heard before she took her final breath. She died after a while on the same night. I didn't stay in her room. I wanted her to feel alone in her last moments. I wasn't religious or anything. I didn't even believe in heaven and hell. But on that moment, I truly hoped what I said was true. People like her do not deserve peace.
If you liked the story, please give it a thumbs up. Share the video and subscribe for more. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. Thank you very much.